We're back with another episode.
I have this on my head.
The hills are alive. Can you hear that? With the sound of music.
Okay, we're good. Short lived. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. We are back at it again. You're supposed to harmonize with me.
Ooh.
We're in unison. We came on the same note. I love that. That's pretty awesome. All right. How was your weekend this past week? Or how was your week this past week?
My weekend this past week was fine.
That was a long pause, but okay.
Yeah. I don't know what to say other than it's hot as shit. I feel like I say it every week. So just in case you forgot, it's hot.
Yeah, and it's about to get hotter here in Texas. It's going to be, I think Wednesday is supposed to be a high of 105. I
got in the car yesterday. It said 106.
Yeah, it was
too
hot.
Dang hot.
Yeah. And the amount of stupidity that we have to deal with on a daily basis. It's too hot for stupid people. It's too hot for questions. It's too hot for racism and discrimination in the workplace. Mm-hmm. It's too hot. We've had enough.
Only hotter place is hell.
Listen, I'm not trying to go to hell. Jesus, save my soul. Hallelujah.
I also don't want to go to hell.
No. Do you think hell is really real, like, as far as, like, fire and brimstone, or do you think we're living it?
Or do you think it's here?
Or do you think, like, hell is, like, just being completely separated from God, but, like, not with fire and stuff like that?
So, my personal belief is that it's not necessarily fire, brimstone, hell.
Yeah.
And it is like a personal hell, like it is your personal hell situation, and it's like a complete and utter separation from God, and whatever that would be, like the most helly place to you is your hell. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But what if it...
I mean, I think the Bible says fire and brimstone, but I don't know.
The Bible do be saying that, and I'm not saying that listen, I believe in the word. I do.
But it was also written by man, though.
That's true. Yeah. I don't think man could conceive hell. Like, I think it's just fucking awful.
Yeah, I think it's a permanent separation from God. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, and I think fire and brimstone sounds horrible.
Yeah, because it'll make you act right. You're going to burn in the lake of fire.
Considering how hot it is now, it is making me act right.
Texas is hell. I'm just saying.
Fuck, it's hot.
We're at 105, you know.
But my week is fine. And just do the work. And yeah, when you hit those strides where you're like, is this it? Like, I'm just working all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Is this my life? That's how I've been feeling.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Welcome to adulthood.
I know. It fucking sucks.
Exactly.
I was one of my friends texted me or voice messaged me and was like, hey, I had a dream that we were graduating high school, but we were 27. And I was like, damn, we were 27? That's so young. And I was like, no, it's not. 27's old. And then I was like, no, I feel old because I think 27's young.
27 is young. That was a great year for me.
27?
27, I had so much fun.
I don't even remember 20. I don't remember anything.
I do. That was probably one of the best years. Like, carefree, just footloose, fancy free.
Footloose?
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon?
Yeah. Definitely.
Very nice.
Shouts out to him.
I don't remember ages. Everything just runs together. I don't remember years. I don't remember times.
That's dangerous. I think you need to go see somebody about that.
I don't remember any, like, when I'm younger, I don't remember, like, people say, oh, when I was in 5th grade, I don't remember any of that shit. I have like a handful of very specific memories that I can pinpoint, but other than that, it's just like a mush of life.
Was it the diamond tap your mom gave you?
Probably.
When she drugged you?
Probably.
Yeah, I think she stole your memories.
Like, constant dissociation from my body.
Yeah. It's probably the medication too that you're taking, the Vyvanse.
Probably. Yeah, I can't even, it's also hard for me to think about things, like pull them out. Like, have you seen the TikTok trend going around where people draw how they conceptualize time or months?
No.
Like what they feel like a calendar looks like in your head when you close your eyes and you're thinking about, okay, I have to do something in May, and like how a calendar looks to you or time looks to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I can't.
Oh, you don't visualize?
I don't visualize it.
Really?
And maybe I do, and
But you have ADHD.
I know.
Isn't that something like a superpower or something?
I don't know. Maybe I do see it and I just don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I don't know how to draw. How would you draw that?
I'm a very visual person. Like, I see everything in my head before it, like, I can visualize everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have a very vivid imagination.
I'm always thinking shit and, like, I'm off in my own, I'm, like, doing it. But for some reason that I can't. But also, like, Numbers, time, money. I don't fuck with that
So when
shit.
somebody says the number 12, what do you see in your head?
I can see it. I see it number 12, right?
Are you asking me or are you telling me? I mean, because I see the number 12 in my head when I say it.
Okay, I'm just tell me something. Say it out loud.
17.
Kind of. Yeah, I do, but it's like not.
Okay. Cherry tree.
There's like the formations of a tree. What does a cherry tree
Is it
look
color?
like?
Is it in color? Black and white? What?
I'm already thinking about something else.
Okay. Wow. Oh, you need to go see a neurologist. I think something's wrong there.
And that lies the problem. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I think that's it. But life passes. I can't tell if life's passing quick or slow because I can't fucking.
I
grab on
feel
the
like
time.
it's going slow fast.
Slow fast.
Yeah. Like I got to work the other day, and by the time I looked up, it was 11:30. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. The days are fast,
Thankfully.
but the weeks are long.
Yes, I
That's
agree.
what it's feeling
I
like.
agree 100%.
Especially in the summer, baby.
It's oh Lord, and school started back too, so that's a whole nother debacle.
Traffic. There are so
Yo.
many kids in school.
I just don't understand, where do these parents go during the summertime that traffic is so drastically different? Like, where are y'all going? Because are you not going back to work?
Are there that many stay-at-home parents?
That's what I'm saying. And why are you up so early? When people are trying to go to work.
I know. It's crazy.
Or maybe it's just the parents are leaving later during the summer because they don't have to wake up as early to take their kids to
Maybe.
school.
We know how expensive daycare is. I feel like we've talked about it before.
Yes.
But one of the girls at work today was saying, oh yeah, I was going to put my kid in daycare for 2 days a week. It was $600 every 2 weeks. $1,200 for your child to be at daycare 2 days a week?
You want me to pay a mortgage so you can watch my kid?
That is whack-a-doodle.
And when people say, why don't you have kids?
Yeah, how are y'all afford to have
What?
kids?
I will say this over and over again. When you call out numbers like that, you have to give props to single parents.
I don't know. My
Because
mom did it.
are y'all selling drugs? Are y'all prostitute? What are you doing on the side?
My mom had my ass in private school.
How your mom had to be selling drugs?
We didn't have
Working for the mafia or something.
We only had cable every other month, and I don't know that I ate, but she did it.
I was gonna say you don't eat now as an adult, so I don't
That's
think
true.
it bothers you. You're
That's
still
where-
alive,
yeah.
so you're good.
And I remember shit was tough, but I was never like destitute, like, you know.
I don't remember things being tough in my house. So I'm gonna tell you why. My parents did a very good job at not showing us if they were struggling. Like the only way our lights were ever cut off was when there was a hurricane.
Damn.
Literally. And if they were cut off, I don't remember our lights being cut off ever. And my parents did not make a crap ton of money. They were, typical middle class, like the real middle class when you made 50,000, you were like a millionaire.
Imagine.
Exactly. And so, but yeah, we thankfully, we ran out of food a lot, but it was 4 of us too. And we used to eat all the grocery stuff. And so my mom like, I'm not going back to the store until 2 more weeks. And then during the summer, we were just like, we would make coffee pancakes, all kind of stupid shit.
Coffee pancakes.
Ketchup sandwiches, only because we ate all the food. My mom was like, I'm not literally going to the grocery store every week for y'all. Like, you need to learn how to conserve this food. So yeah, and we were all athletes, so we ate like growing boys. So yeah,
Interesting. What a blessing.
what a blessing, But single parents, shouts out to single parents. Good
I
God almighty.
I don't know what I would do.
Move back in with my mom.
Yeah, you'd have to. It
Yeah,
would be a village
absolutely.
situation.
Absolutely.
I'd be
Could
like,
be anything
look at
else.
this kid we all get to raise together. How fun for us.
Yeah, are you picking them up from daycare?
Exactly, because I won't.
Single parenthood is-
$1,200.
That is insane. And then people are crazy. It's crazy because people are like, I'm not gonna work because I'm literally going to work just to pay for
Right.
daycare. So I might as well just stay my ass home. That Lord, this economy fucking sucks. Anyway,
How was your week?
my week was very interesting. I'll say this about some things. And this is gonna kind of roam into the rehab corner.
We'd love to roam into the rehab corner.
I need for people to stop coming to the hospital angry, right? But I want to preface it by saying,
Just sad.
Yeah, not even sad. Just come with a goal that you want to resolve.
Come with an ache and pain.
Come with an ache and pain, and that you're gonna get resolved, right? because I feel like this week I've had mostly great patients. All of my patients have been amazing this week, and it was an amazing patient care week. But then at the end of the week, you get to this one booger of a patient, and you're just like, it makes you feel like you didn't even have a win that week. And so I dealt with this patient this week who
bad
was just,
apple ruins the bunch.
He was just dead set on just being combative and argumentative. Now, here's the thing: I am not unfamiliar with the healthcare system. I've been in the healthcare system for a very long time. I understand that people have histories and PTSD and trauma from dealing with other healthcare providers and the healthcare system at large because it is trash here in the United States. I totally get that. However, I just met you and I didn't personally do anything to you. And so in an attempt not to take on what you're saying to me personally, please understand that I am a human being. And when you talk to me as if I'm the one who harmed you, we can't have a great rapport, and then I can't give you, to a degree, quality service because you won't let me. Yeah. And I'm not going to force anything on you if you're, degrading me and whatnot. But other than that, the week was really good. Super hot. And I just hate corporate America.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel like we say that every week.
I feel like I also had a good patient care week. Nothing crazy other than that man who said he didn't trust me today.
Yeah.
And smelled like death. But
I had a very young patient, TBI, who TBIs are really sad, especially when they're fresh and they're nonverbal. And he started sliding off the bed.
Oof, not a hot dog.
And I don't know what it is about y'all OTs. I'm gonna just rant on OTs right now. Y'all know I'm a huge OT, occupational therapy advocate, but sometimes y'all piss me off to the max. For some reason, y'all have this thing about, like, let's say the PT is in the back when you're transferring a patient to the edge of the bed.
Well, that's
and
the problem.
OT is in the front.
You should be in the front.
No, but see, we are working on balance, and y'all are not. So the problem is when y'all transfer these people to the edge of the bed, for some reason, y'all always want their hips to be right there at the edge, and I'm like, scoot the hips back because they're on a slider sheet.
That's Jessica hates me.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Every time we get someone up and I'm like, square the hips, square. She's like, don't fucking move them.
Don't move the hips.
And today we sat someone up and I could, as soon as we sat up, I felt his hips go, boom. But he was so like cattywomp crooked. And I was like, oh, you want me to square the hips? And she was like, no.
But you mess with the hips before I have a chance to move the trunk up to then give them some type of facilitation. And y'all just take it to the max. And literally, she moved his hips. And I was like, bitch. I didn't call her bitch, but I thought it in my head. And I was like, dude, what the hell? And so I was like, let's move his hips back. Every time you try to move the hips back with the slider sheet, it never works. So all of a sudden, because again, he's nonverbal, he can't sit up, he can't do anything. He's a fresh TBI. And he was a TBI. Anyway, he's a fresh TBI. That's all you need to know because I'm not violating HIPAA. And so he starts to slide, and I'm like, bitch, he's sliding, but he's also a fresh cranny. Oof. So I'm like, I have to protect his head, so I'm having to cradle his head in my hand while also trying to girl, I hurt my wrist. It's the end of the goddamn story, okay? That's all I'm saying. But y'all OTs, y'all get on my nerves with that. I do
love to square some hips.
Okay, I don't have a problem with you squaring the hips. Let me get the trunk up first, and then you can square the hips.
And that's why I make PT get in front. My ass is going to stay back here and help him fucking sit up.
We can't. And y'all never block the knees. Y'all just be like, oh, yeah, she's going to just stand over him. Oh, let's try that.
We don't take that class, all right?
Clearly. Oh.
No, today Jessica and I set up this new VAD. He was probably 300 and something pounds. Ooh, huge, juicy. 6 something. And of course she's in front. She's got to do all the heavy lifting. I'm just a girl, okay? And I swear, as soon as she sat him up, he was on. Do y'all have the tortoise at your hospital? That stupid turtle shit slider sheet. It's like the slider sheet that has air in it for wound protection.
Yeah. But you can deflate it.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
Oh no, ours deflate every time, so you can slide them up by yourself.
Oh,
we're fancy.
Sense.
We got
this
money.
One does not. Yeah, we don't. So okay, but you know how that is, right?
Yeah, it's a slider sheet.
Well, someone put the fucking gray slider on top of that. So he's slipping and sliding on something that slip and slides.
Yeah.
So he's really, as soon as we sit him up, I could feel his hips start going. Yeah. I was like, I hope you got the knees up there, girl, because he's big.
See.
And we're just holding on for dear life. And so I was like, do you want me to move that? Don't move his hips. I'm like, okay.
This is why you don't argue with your PT or OT, because we literally have your life in our hands.
You do what we say.
And, we try our best to not kill you. That's literally the goal.
I know. I feel like, okay, every therapist has like a little niche group of people like that you they probably don't need services, but you just feel like you need to pick them up. Most people, it's like 102-year-olds.
Yeah.
They could be fucking independent, but these people would be like, well, we can work on. And I'm like, you just think they're cute and you want to keep them.
Yeah.
For me, it's young alcoholics. I don't know what it is. Probably because I'm on the precipice of alcoholism, you know?
Please don't speak that over your life.
I'm not preaching that over my life. But I can just...
rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Lift your dirty hands and tell God, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I can just understand. Like, life's fucking hard, all right?
Your hands are clean. But...
My hands are clean. Life's hard. I can understand, hey, listen, slippery slope.
Yeah.
And I had a 30-year-old alcoholic today, and I wanted to be like, brother, oof. Yeah. What do you want to do? Anything. Whatever services you need.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I didn't get therapy last time, but it was probably it'd probably be a good idea. He's standby, so he's fine. I'm like, we can work on whatever you want to work on. What do you need? I felt so bad. I'll sit with him all day. But give me anyone over fucking 50 years old, alcoholic withdrawing, get him off. I'm not messing with it.
I hate working with alcohol withdrawal or ETOH withdrawal in the hospital because it's, number one, it's the only thing, I won't say the only thing, but it's the main drug of choice that you can actually die from while you're withdrawing. And so with these alcoholics, they wax and wane so much, and then you see them one day and you're like, rehab, he's horrible, his balance sucks, but you know their brain is just swimming in alcohol. And then you see them the next day and they're perfectly fine. You're like, get the fuck off my service.
The guy today, so we went to go see this subdural hematoma, this older guy, right? Fell, hit his head, withdrawing from alcohol.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Also, I'm not saying, okay, listen. The day was rough. Jessica front-loaded her chart review. Yeah. Did a very thorough chart review.
Good for you, Jessica.
To make up for any deficits I had in reviewing the chart, which I didn't. But if I did, she would have made that gap up. So I'm walking into these rooms, and I'm just like, my hand's in Jessica's hands. The PT that I'm with. She's fucking got it. So we're seeing this guy. I know he's a subdural hematoma. He can't fucking... he's got that weird garbled spout. I don't know what the hell's going on. So, and I'm like, this is strange. We saw another subdural, and they were kind of, what is going on?
Yeah.
So after he tells us that he doesn't want us to get him up because he doesn't trust him, and meanwhile, this took 15 minutes for him to fucking verbalize because he can't speak. And we're all sitting there, and it's just like watching paint dry, and the nurse goes, he goes, you know why you're here? You fell and hit your head. Now you're withdrawing from alcohol. And he was like, and I was like,
probably cussed her out.
Yeah, I was like, you don't have to do all that.
Right.
I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like sometimes people just don't try to help us. We're totally fine.
Like, we were doing all right until you brought up his issues. You know, we're in a fucking pickle.
Exactly. I had this patient who was unhoused, and he came in for, what was his issue? Oh, he ended up getting an amputation. Oof. And but just of the big toe, and so he but he's one of these like, you know how the people who are unhoused, when they come into the hospital, they're most of them are not chatty at all. They're very much so, just let me sleep in a nice clean bed,
they're
and
like,
have a room to myself.
Some AC, I got a bed.
They don't want to get out of bed. They just want to lay there.
Blame you.
I don't bother them. I'm just like, hey, just show me you can walk to the door and back, and we good. I'll discharge you from my service. Well, this guy, he just wanted to be a chatty Carl, and he just. He's like, so where are you from? How many brothers and sisters you got? So what school did you go to? What year did you graduate? Where side of town do you live in? I was like, is this an interview? Sir, what? Like, you're asking me a lot of questions. And so when I was working with him, trying to get him into a wheelchair, and back to OT, one of the OTs worked with him and told case management, oh, he's horrible. Like, he definitely needs to go to rehab. And I'm like, well, he didn't respond the same way to me. Like, he did perfectly fine. I mean, he ran into a couple walls, but that's okay.
Splitting the rehab bill?
You know? And I didn't say that he didn't need to go to rehab just because he's homeless, because I would absolutely let anybody, or say that anybody could, well, no, I wouldn't. I would do what's ethical. That was a trap. See, that was a trick. I would never do anything unethical. So if a patient needed therapy service and continued therapy services outside of the hospital, I'm recommending rehab. But if they don't, even if you are unhoused, I'm not recommending it.
Listen, this job is tough.
It is. We have decisions.
We have decisions,
and we're the ones
made.
in charge. That's the sad part.
Yeah, it is hard because sometimes you have people that are appropriate for rehab and need it, but they're unfunded, and everyone's telling you, like, it ain't gonna happen, brother. You got to figure it out. And then sometimes you have these people who really don't need to go to rehab, but they have insurance, and so they'll let them go, and you're like, they could have gone home
because they want a babysitter. And I'm like, rehab is not a babysitter. And when we say rehab, we're not talking about like drug and alcohol rehab. We're talking about inpatient, acute rehab, or a skilled nursing facility, or a long-term care acute care facility, LTACs and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody doesn't need to go to rehab. And just because somebody is old and they have a little loss of balance, like I hate when people say, oh, well, this patient's 89 years old and, they had like 3 loss of balance episodes with me. They need to go to rehab. Bitch, why? They're 89. Do y'all realize what an 89-year-old does? Listen, I almost fall at least once a day.
Yo, I almost fucking bit it in a room the other day. I was with Jessica. The SCDs, I don't know.
Oh, the little cord.
There's these things in the hospital they put on your legs, compression sleeves, so you don't get blood clots, but it plugs into the bed. Yeah. And I turned around and I like clotheslined myself and just happened to catch the bed, and it was our spinal cord injury patient. Yeah. He was like, oof, that would have been bad. I was like, I would have been in this bed next to you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, all that to say,
my week was great.
We love our job. Lots of fun stuff going on.
I don't love my job.
Never a dull moment.
I tell you this, the longer I keep doing therapy, PT, and dealing with, number one, horrible leadership, but also two, dealing with horrible leadership.
Times two. Double homicide.
I no longer want to do this profession. And the unfortunate part is that everywhere we go,
people want to know.
People want to know if you're the same hoe. I'm kidding. The sad part is every job you go to is going to be the exact same.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to be different. The people are just going to change, but the way in which they are, the characters that they have and the characteristics and the things that they do, they will not vary from the script. So
I'm telling you, these poor students right now.
I have a student starting tomorrow.
So the overall vibe in the therapy department, I don't even think this is specific to my hospital, but it's bleak. It is grim.
Oh, absolutely. It's in my hospital too. Absolutely.
So it's like this gray cloud of we're tired, we're underpaid, this job sucks. Burnt out. Working in a hospital is just rough, especially after COVID. And these students are there and they have now taken it upon themselves to be the shining light in the office. They're very much trying to be like, good, hey, good morning. What's going on? Are we having a good day? We're like, shut up, sit down, write your notes. They're just trying to be like, they're like, please, for the love of God, don't quit because I have to get this field work done.
Definitely.
And I'm like, y'all, it's good luck.
Yeah, I have a student that's starting tomorrow, and I love to take students because I love to teach.
Doing work.
No, that too. But I love to teach, but I also don't sugarcoat the reality of this profession, because I think a lot of times that's what duped me into it, because when I was shadowing physical therapists, they made it look like they really enjoy their job. And I'm not saying that they didn't.
Maybe they did.
They probably did. But even my teachers who are physical therapists, they were not very forthright and forthcoming with the information. Even to my clinical instructors, a lot of them buffered a lot of the stuff that went on. And I think they did it in an effort to be quote unquote professional. But at the same time, it was harmful because I didn't get a chance to see how to navigate through certain expectations, like such as, productivity standards or, getting patients accepted into rehab facilities based off your documentation. And so I wasn't really given a true world experience until I actually became a PT, had my own license, and went out and was thrown to the wolves. And so I try to let my students see the conflict that we have in a multidisciplinary approach with case management, the physician staff, other, disciplines, OT, speech, and all that kind of stuff. But I was never given that opportunity, unfortunately. But I mean, and that's not to say that my CIs were bad, because they weren't, except for one. I hated one. But
you know who you are.
Eva. Anyway, so I'm not afraid to say your name either. Anywho, it was just the fact that I didn't get a chance to really see the good, the bad, and the ugly. They only showed me just the good.
And I think we do it to I know I do it to myself too, as like a protection mechanism to get through this job. Because I was even telling her off camera that when we were when in the middle of the pandemic, COVID, if you forgot, we were in the ICU and it was god awful. It was so bad. And now that we're so removed from it, I can think back on it and I'm like, oh yeah, that sucked. Like, man, it was hard. It was really tough. And you kind of just like, we had whatever. And you kind of remember some patients. And then today I was looking at pictures of those patients from that time. And I have PTSD responses to this shit. Because I'm like, oh no, this was some of the worst times of my life. It was awful. We were exhausted. It was just... everyone was scared. We were doing this crazy, insane work. And I'm like, oh, no, you kind of gloss over that and forget about it when you're removed from it finally.
No, I've not forgotten a single thing. I'm still dealing with PTSD from it.
That's true.
Dead serious.
Because
I was the first one to go in. So
that's true. To like get over it, I was like, oh, okay. Like, that was crazy. I'm glad we all stuck together. The snacks are pretty great. Yeah. And then I think about it. I'm like, no, that was actually
the only highlight of COVID was the food.
They
gave us like king size Rice Krispie treats. And we had
it was the only thing holding
access to
together.
Gatorade. Listen, Gatorade could have did a whole like
sugar was the glue that held healthcare together.
There was always food around.
Caffeine.
Like there was, snacks,
candy, people bringing in lunches,
chips, pretzels. We had food all the time. Free food, mind you. Free food. That was the only thing that was holding us together.
Please just show up for your shift.
Absolutely.
Like, all right.
Yeah. And that was before vaccine, when people were dying left and right. And, it was, I can't look at pictures from that time because I just remember severed limbs. That's what I remember. And your patients there the one day and then they're dead the next, or you finish working with them and they code and people pulling out ECMO lines and blood all over the floor. It was crazy.
I had the very distinct memory of all of these people are on ECMO, right? Everyone's here for the same thing, and us working with someone and you having to close the curtain specifically because the person in front of them is dying and they're running a code, and you're like, oh, sorry, we don't want you to. It was just like the most casual thing to be like, oh, sorry, don't look at that. Even though,
you would come on the unit and you have 2 dead bodies because the morgue is full.
Yeah. Oh,
and so you're just like, and sometimes the curtain was not closed. You just see dead corpses, and you're like, well, I know you're not walking out into the room. So
stiff people.
Yeah, and and because I was in the ICU, so it's very. And then too, on top of that, being harassed by your leadership. So it's like
the cherry on top,
and discriminated against by your leadership. So it's like, wow, okay, death on one side. And,
if you're looking to go into physical or occupational therapy, don't talk to us.
Don't do it, because we're not going to convince you to do it.
We won't. I'll tell you. Please
go to perfusion school.
Go be in tech like your other friends. Sit at a computer all day. Put in your time, and then get out there and live your life.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of pandemics and whatnot, I pray that we don't end up going into another, because I can tell you this right now.
I will not be at a hospital for that.
I will quit my job. I will sell my house. Monkeypox is back.
Okay, here's the thing. I didn't want COVID, and I didn't get it to my knowledge. Amen. But what I refuse to fucking be a part of is monkeypox. I'm not getting it. I'm not doing it.
So I really need people to understand geography and stuff, because people are saying monkeypox is active in Africa. Okay, Africa is not a country. Okay, it's a continent.
Whole continent.
With multiple countries in it.
Multiple countries.
So I need y'all to narrow it down and tell us which country specifically has monkeypox, so we stay the fuck away from there.
Also, people travel all the time. Exactly. It's not like Africa is an unobtainable place.
Exactly. It's very easy to access.
And we could buy a ticket right now.
We absolutely could, but we're not. We won't. It's first of all, it's too hot. It's
Can't afford it.
I'm not going there during the summertime. It's hell no. It's hell over there and here too in Texas. Anywho, but monkeypox is on the rise again, and I'm gonna tell you right now.
Just chill.
Nobody with monkeypox need physical therapy. I'm gonna just tell you right now.
One thing's for certain, 2 things for sure.
I'm not fucking going to the rooms.
If I see that, listen.
Hell no. Cleared to go home. Did you see him? Nope. May God be with you. I'm not doing it.
So they're just thotting and bopping in there. They look fine.
I'm not going through another pandemic. I'm not doing it. No, I don't have it in me.
I think 1 is enough.
1 is enough for a lifetime. We didn't need to go through this one, you know? But yeah, so y'all, please wash your hands, wash your ass. Jesus, don't spread this shit, please. I pray they are able to contain it, because I can't do it. I can't do it, Alyssa. I can't.
I'm not. Oh, oof. I can't do rashes.
The rash is not even the problem. I'm not.
A flu. You feel like you have the flu, and you have all these bumps on you.
Okay, what is the gowning up procedure for us?
That's
clinicians?
True. Listen. Probably a lot. I'm thinking is it airborne? Is it just contact? I think you do have to wear an N95.
I think
it's probably COVID. It's like enhanced precaution. So I'm not sweating my ass off in a room.
No.
Because you touched a monkey and then that person touched a person, that person touched a person, here we are.
And the thing is, I got eczema. So I'm gonna be freaking out with PTSD like I got monkeypox if my eczema flare up.
Sore, scabs, and respiratory droplets. So you got to put it on N95.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not doing no.
I did my fucking time. I did my COVID time. I think we clocked in for 1 pandemic, and that's more than enough.
They better have a vaccine for this shit. I'm not saying I'm gonna get it, but I'm just saying y'all need to have monkeypox has been going back and forth. Mm-hmm. Y'all should have a cure at this point. Damn it.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it say like chickenpox? If you had chickenpox, you ain't gonna get it. I don't know. That's a lie. That's misinformation. Don't believe it.
I don't know.
Allegedly. Yeah, we ain't dealing with that shit. Also, I'll tell you what else we're not dealing with. So I don't know if you heard about this particular thing. I think we kind of skimmed over it at a previous episode, but maybe we never talked about it. Anyway, the Biden administration, y'all know how this is your favorite political podcast. The Biden administration actually enforced a new rule for colleges. So when you graduated, did you have any debt where you owed the school money where you couldn't get your transcript?
I think so. But
Okay.
like $20 or something crazy. Like, nothing like.
That's very privileged. I love that. I'm kidding.
It's because I owed all my money to the government.
Oh, true. Very true. You and me both. But so I remember when I graduated PT school, they lied and told me that I owed like $3,100 to the school. But what they did was they gave me like this grant and then they took it off. So the whole time I was like in debt $3,100 because they put it on and took it off. But I had the proof because, you know, I keep records of everything. And so I was like, no, y'all took my money back. Put that shit back on. So for some reason. So,
what the heck?
So is that yours?
Was that you?
That's me. Sorry. And so
Monkeypox, it's here.
No, so I couldn't get my official transcript. I could only get my unofficial transcript. But then they still sent me my diploma, which was dumb. Anyway, so I had that was the story I told you about how my cousin faked as a lawyer. She didn't fake. She was just dressed up and had a briefcase, so they thought she was a lawyer.
And anyway, that's on them.
And that's on them. So she didn't go in impersonating a lawyer. She did not. She was
a professional person.
Exactly. She was my representative, and I'm not telling you which cousin. Anywho, so she went in and they thought she was my lawyer, and so they handled my situation and got that shit cleared. But the Biden administration has now put into place where schools now have been banned from withholding your transcripts if you owe them money, especially if you receive federal aid and stuff like that. Here. Exactly. So I think every school, y'all need to stop doing that shit. People have worked hard for their degrees, and you're gonna get your money back at some point. Oh, damn.
I forgot that they could do stuff like that. Speaking of that, plus single parents, when I was so I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
And if you didn't pay your tuition, they withheld your report card until you paid it.
Oh, don't threaten me to a good time.
So I was a nerd. I wanted to see my fucking grades because I knew I was good at school, and they never gave my fucking report card, and I would always have to go home and I'd be like, Mom, they won't get, you have to pay. She's like, I can't fucking afford it right now. We'll pay it when we can pay it. I'm like, I'm never gonna know my grade. Anyway, I'm traumatized. So I never got to know my fucking grades because we never paid for school. I went to school for free, basically. Just the Lord.
Did you get intern reports?
Intern reports?
Interim reports.
What is that?
It's like you got to report in the interim between your report cards.
Progress report.
Interim reports.
Yeah, I did get progress reports.
Yeah.
And they always just said, she's smart, but talks way too fucking much.
Which is why you have a podcast now.
Which is why I have a podcast. Look at me now.
Exactly. Well, speaking of school and whatnot, let me answer this question too, piggybacking off that. When you were in school, did you have any kind of professional development courses like that taught you how to interview, what to wear on your interview, how to conduct yourself in corporate America, blah, blah, blah?
In college, I had to take like a professional ethics.
In high school,
did
you?
No, it's like ethics and professionalism. I took it in college.
Oh, okay. So this week on the internet, on social media, there was this huge kind of thing that went on. So there was this young lady, don't know her name, doesn't really matter. She went to a job interview, and she came on her video, and she was like, "Y'all, I went to a job interview, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Like, I went to the job interview, and this is what I wore." So she had on a white T-shirt, like a dressier T-shirt, like a white blouse, and then like a little cardigan or something over it. But then she had on black shorts, like slack shorts, like business
chino shorts.
Yeah. And so they weren't like coochie cutters or nothing like that.
They were giving like New York and Company.
Yes, New York and abs learners for those of us who...
that's a throwback.
Yes. They were like shorts from learners.
I have not heard.
I'm showing my age. Anyway, so she had on shorts from learners. And so she was like, the lady at the interview was like, do you want to go home and change? Like giving her an opportunity to say, hey, bitch, this is not the right attire. And so social media has been tearing up this young lady. I don't know how old she is. She looks very young.
In her 20s, maybe?
She honestly looks like 18, 19 to me.
I would say 18 to 22.
True. Yes, I would agree with that.
Because I don't know what kids look like anymore.
Very true. And so people have been eating her up in the comments saying, now you should have known better than to go on an interview with these types of clothes on and da-da-da-da. And so we were talking off camera, and I asked, Fowler if she had a professional development course, but I told her too, I was like, it's not fair for you to answer that question because your mom is a teacher.
That's true.
And it's also not fair for me to answer because I was born in the 80s. So we just
different. Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm split because I understand that I have a very privileged upbringing in terms of professionalism. I've grown up around professional people.
Yeah.
I've been in professional situations. I went to fucking private school.
Yeah.
I was in different organizations in high school. I get it.
Yeah.
My other thing, though, is it's the age of the fucking internet. It's not very hard to Google what to wear to an interview or go on TikTok, interview attire.
But you know what I think also, too? I think there is a big double standard when it comes to interview attire and professional attire. And I'll tell you why. Because if you take a black person in corporate spaces, we are looked at and expected to have on a 5-piece Easter suit every single time we come into the office. And white people, when they come into the office or they go on an interview, they can wear polos and a khaki, and khakis and polo with some dirty ass tennis shoes on, and they get the job. Nobody looks at them crazy. But if a black person walks into an interview with khakis and polo on, they're going to be looked at as, why are you not professional? And so it is kind of a double standard, unfortunately, because even too, I've seen some people on like, not necessarily casual Fridays, but supposed directors and supervisors who come in on a regular basis in like jeggings. Oh, and I'm like, how is that professional? But then if a black person does that, it's looked at very different.
If this woman from the video was wearing a skirt and it was just short, then I think we could be having the discussion of black people are held to a higher standard in terms of what they're wearing, which I'm not saying is not a thing.
Yeah.
But everyone knows you can't fucking wear shorts to an interview.
But I'm the first person to say that, the age gap needs to be bridged, which is why we did this podcast, right? Because we're 10 years apart. But at the same time, these younger adults, they don't have what we had growing up. They don't have professionalism courses anymore. They don't have where you get to practice how to actually interview. They don't have that anymore. And so even to that young lady's parent, maybe they didn't adequately prepare them for how to actually interview. And so I think a lot of times we assume that's just common sense, baby. Common sense is not common to a lot of people. And even though, again, I think that would have been a perfect opportunity to say for content creators to say what to wear on an interview, what not to wear in an interview, as opposed to just, demeaning this girl and making her feel like shit because she wore, quote unquote, the wrong thing to an interview. I personally would have never worn shorts, but I've seen some people come to interviews in a professional medical setting with scrubs on. So would you say that that's unprofessional?
No, but one time I sat in on an interview and it was this tech who wanted to come work at the hospital and she was wearing jeans and an American flag shirt.
That's so inappropriate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But because we know better.
We know better.
And because we were taught by the generation that preceded us. And so, again, it goes back to this would have been the perfect opportunity for content creators, especially in that niche, to be able to make content to say, hey, I'm just using this young lady as an example. Hey, y'all, Gen Z, when y'all go out on interviews,
cover
this
your
is
legs.
what you need to wear. Don't wear shorts, wear black or blue, don't wear all this fancy stuff, simple jewelry, simple makeup. You don't gotta wear a 40-inch bust down. It's not that serious, but
depends on the job.
Depends on the job. If you're going for a stripper or an exotic dancer. They're not called strippers?
I don't know if we can say stripper. I don't know the stripper discourse.
Oh, I don't know either.
Dancer? Are they just dancer? Is exotic dancer derogatory?
I don't know. I'm not an exotic dancer.
I think if I was a stripper, I'd be like, fucking call me a stripper.
Yeah.
I'd want to be a stripper because that's hot.
That's sexy.
I don't want to be a dancer. I want to be a fucking stripper.
Exactly. Well, speaking of strippers and dancers and sexiness, so remember you asked me about how my week went, right? Okay.
Oh, so, this is going to get good.
Okay. So y'all know how I go and get my butt rubbed on once a month, right? By my amazing massage therapist who shall remain nameless. Anyway, and so you know how you go to a massage place and they play like the very, spa music, right? So at this particular location that he's at now, they don't play that kind of music. They play very really vibey music that's actually really good. You're like, wow, what is the Spotify playlist, right? So yesterday, he comes in the room, right? And as soon as he pulls back the cover to drape my butt and everything, and he's working on my upper shoulders and my back, all of a sudden this really sexy song comes on. And y'all know how I be joking about.
Was this?
And that's what I'm saying. It was not a happy ending. But y'all know how I joke and play about my massage therapist rubbing on my booty. He actually doesn't rub on my booty. He just massages me. Anyway, so all of a sudden this song comes on and this lady just starts singing. And she's like, you're rubbing on my skin. You're my body to body. And it was like, he was on beat with this stuff, just like
hit the nail on the head there.
And so, of course, I'm in the little plinth, and with my face is like this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, but she literally was just like, you're touching on my body, feeling low. And I was like, did he purposefully turn this on?
He's on his fucking phone, queuing it up.
Listen, I didn't mind it because it was a vibe. However, I did not get a happy ending because I don't go to a masseuse.
There's some shit.
He's a massage therapist,
that,
licensed.
You know, outside of certain situations is nothing, and then when you just have it at a right place, right time, it's fucking weird.
But you know what? This is probably I did start snoring at some point because the music was really relaxing.
That's some shit. When you know that little in between sleep.
And you're like, oh,
where you like know you're still a little bit awake, but you also know you're asleep.
Yes.
And it's always when you're getting a massage.
I love vibey music though during a massage versus the typical spa music. I hate that spa music. It's so annoying.
My issue with the spa music is the volume, because like if it's too high, it's intrusive, but if it's too low, then I'm trying to hear it and I can't. I'm focusing on that. And it just needs to be the right volume.
Because like this one, they have like sound bars everywhere. Ooh. So you can feel the vibration like from the table. And I'm like, I don't think she's
getting a regular massage.
I am. It's just like a nice vibe. Like they have like little blue lights and stuff. And it's really nice. It's a vibey place. It's really nice.
Cool.
So, which is why I keep going.
Obviously.
You know? Yeah. To get the happy endings. I'm kidding it. There's no happy ending.
It's a joke.
I have to pay at the end. What? That doesn't help my case, but y'all know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'll tell you what else is having to pay. What were you telling me about the lady with the millions of dollars in chicken?
I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but there was a woman. Was it in Florida or is it just giving Florida?
Don't do that to us.
I know.
It probably was, but give us the benefit of the doubt at least first.
She was the person who, like, at the school procures the food.
The lunch lady.
I don't know if I don't know what terms we can say now and what we can't.
I think lunch lady is a very respectable term.
Okay. Well, she was the food service director.
Okay.
In Chicago.
That sounds better.
It was in Chicago.
See, it wasn't Florida. Thank you.
Same coast.
Not.
Ended up, she just got sentenced to 9 years in prison for stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings.
You would never convince me that actually was $1.5 million.
She ordered, allegedly, 11,000 pounds worth of chicken wings, picked them up in her truck, and took the fuck off.
Like at once, or did she do this over years?
I don't know. I'd hate to lie on her. Between July 2020 and February 2022. So this is like small. 2 years. 2 years of fucking chicken. She was probably just getting a couple pounds on the side for 2 years.
How much chicken are these kids eating?
Well, I think that's what the school district was saying.
First of all, here's my question,
The school district was like, wow, 11,000 pounds of chicken wings.
There is no way that any school district has access to $1.5 million. Y'all don't even have money for salaries. Y'all don't have money for books and AC.
Maybe it's just now with inflation, it'd be worth $1.5 million.
Yeah, because is this Chick-fil-A chicken or is this Church's?
Well, my thing is, girl, chicken wings aren't even on the menu in the cafeteria because kids can choke on the bones.
In elementary school, if you can't eat a chicken, you got a problem. You shouldn't be in school.
But they can't. They'll get sued. Everyone will get sued. That's why there's no chicken wing. Everything's boneless in schools.
Is that a real thing? Are you being serious?
I swear to God.
Wow. I did not know that.
With my law degree, I can tell you. I can almost guarantee you.
So
that's true. That so how long did it take the school? That's what I'm wondering. How long did it take the school to be like, wow, we sure are ordering a lot of chicken wings considering no one can eat them?
If this was Abbott Elementary, Ava saw that very quickly.
Yeah.
She's like, wait a minute, this is my car money.
But I saw different celebrities, and I think an NFL player was offering to pay for the chicken so that this woman would not have to go.
No, they're going to still send her to jail because she black.
I'm like, did you start your business on the side? Watch her have like the most famous chicken wing spot in Chicago
Absolutely.
right now.
Listen, you gotta respect the hustle. You gotta respect the hustle. Sometimes stealing from your job is not bad.
This Yahoo News article said from the cafeteria to the cell block. That wasn't right. Y'all didn't need to do that.
This lady was just trying to feed people. Okay, you got kids who still owe money on their lunch tabs. Okay, let the lady have some little some chicken
It
wings.
says it wasn't until the district's food service department blew past its annual budget by $300,000
See, she
halfway
did
through
too
the school year.
much.
You're doing too much, girlfriend.
Listen.
You got to be like those people who steal a couple thousand.
A couple thousand here and
month,
there. Yeah. 300,000. She wasn't taking that into consideration. Because you know why? She never saw the money. She only just was like, oh, I order and it comes. And that's why.
I want to know what she was doing. She had to have been selling it, right? There's no way she was eating it.
No, she probably had like I'm just assuming and alleging. She probably had like a business at her house.
Yeah.
And was selling plates and stuff.
That would make
Where
more
did
sense.
she keep all this? Well, she got
That's
commercial.
a shit ton of chicken.
But she got commercial freezers at the school though, so she can keep it there. And if she was the director, she know don't touch this.
Yeah,
You know?
she got charged with theft and operating a criminal enterprise
Over chicken.
over chicken.
That's the most like.
Okay, but also, girl, you launched this in the middle of the pandemic when the kids weren't even at fucking school.
See, you're not smart.
So
I'm trying to work with you, but
I can't.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's going on.
If you're gonna do crimes, do them smart.
That's
Anyway,
what I'm saying.
I'll tell you what else is. Well, speaking of crimes, not necessarily. Anywho, Russell Simmons. Okay, so. Okay, in the news or in social media news, y'all know how like I think it was this beginning of this year or last year, he was allegedly being sued for sexual harassment and or sexual assault allegedly, right? And so that I think that case is still pending if I'm not mistaken. So he's been in Bora Bora or in some beautiful island for the longest.
Can you imagine if you just got to fuck off to Bora Bora when shit got tough?
Man, that'd be amazing. That's why Jeffrey Epstein had her own island. You know, anywho, so Taraji P. Henson, who's an actress, an amazing actress, right? She actually just went to go visit him. And, you know, people are just like, we cannot. But she's been trending on social media. People are like, I cannot believe Taraji P. Henson went to go see Russell Simmons. Like, this is ridiculous. And da-da-da-da. And so I was having this conversation with my friend. And I was telling her, I think we as society, we forget that people who commit crimes and are alleged of committing crimes also have people who love them. Mm-hmm. I'm not justifying anything that these people are doing. I'm not, taking up for them in any kind of way or defending them. I'm just saying, we as a society, we will back Ray Ray and be like, free my cousin Ray Ray. And your cousin Ray Ray done shot and killed 15 people and you still wearing a free Ray Ray shirt. But somebody who has allegations against them that haven't been proven to be true yet, right, doesn't deserve to have friends and family rally around them?
I think we're just now very used to any sort of negative press coming to someone and they get dropped by everyone because no one wants to be associated.
Exactly.
And Taraji ain't get down like that.
Well, I mean, even if she did, it's just like a person who murders someone, right? They still have a mother and a father if they're still alive. They have people who love them, people who, harm children or, rapists. They have loved ones who didn't know that they were capable of doing something like that, right? And they still have people who love and not support what they've done, but still love and care for them. And so I just need all of us to come back sometimes to our humanity to understand that just because you don't agree with something that someone did or you're against what they did and they did something horrible and terrible, please remember that there are still people on the other side of that actually love and care for them.
So if she was hanging out in Bora Bora with Donald Trump, you'd be saying the same thing?
Absolutely.
I don't think you would.
No, I would be. First of all, what I would say is that I don't agree with her being around him or voting for him, but I wouldn't be in an outrage where I'm making think pieces about it online.
People are very
saying
upset.
that I'm no longer supporting Taraji P. Henson because she's doing whatever. Now, for example, I didn't really support Steve Harvey. And when I saw that he went to the Trump Towers, I believe it was allegedly a couple years ago, and had met with Trump and all the other kind of stuff, and he got caught. He was looking all crazy and whatnot. I was just like, yeah, to me that was an Uncle Tom move. But at the same time, I wasn't in the room. But I'm not gonna go online and be, I can't believe Steve Harvey did this. It's just like, okay, you still have people who are actually your friends, and they know a side of you that we don't get to see. I'm not justifying anything that these people are doing. I'm just saying we as the public, we have to get to, because even Donald Trump has children who love him.
I just don't understand how y'all are getting so pressed about shit that has nothing to do. And it's not even like you're this huge Taraji fan. He said something bad about Taraji because he didn't. All he was saying was like, man, I love her. I had such a great time with her. That was what the post was. She came out to see me. Yeah, and they took a
picture.
Yeah, had such a great time. Love her. She's great. Da 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 da.
Yeah, she wasn't saying fuck the victims. That's not what she was saying. She didn't say anything. She just hung out with her friend or whomever he is to her, whatever relation they have together, and people are just like, we can't believe you. What?
I'm telling you right now, if someone called me up and said, do you want to come out to Bora Bora? I'm here.
I'm going.
I'm hopping on the
Especially
plane.
if you're paying. I'm definitely going.
I'm like, hey, listen.
We ain't taking no pictures, but I'm just saying. I
wouldn't post shit.
No, I just think we need to get back to to our humanity, and to understand again that people that we don't agree with also have people who love and care for them.
Come on, we were all just together for the Olympics. We were all having a good time.
Yeah.
Unity.
Well,
keep the spirit alive.
Speaking of Olympics, the Paralympics are actually coming out.
I'm excited. I've never watched the Paralympics, but I am going to this year. I never even watched the real not the real Olympics, the Olympics period.
That's right. Because there are the Olympics and then there are Paralympics.
I misspoke. I see my privilege, and I am an OT. I think the Paralympics would be more exciting to watch, though, personally. Honestly,
it is. So I'm a person who watched the Paralympics all the time. And as a PT, I love to watch the Paralympics because it is, to me, it's more difficult for Paralympic athletes to perform because, first of all, you have people who are without limbs, who are bow and arrow with their feet, or have no arms, and they're doing amazing things with their bodies that very adapted that you would never even think you would be able to do in a person in that position. And so I always tell people, like, you know, who have had patients who have had fresh amputations and stuff like that, I'm just like, if you have a chance, go and YouTube Paralympics, because you in this moment now, yes, you're mourning the loss of a limb or whatever the case may be, a particular disorder or disease that took, you know, a certain part of you away, and now you have to modify and adapt. But it's just like, this is where, not necessarily that you have the potential to perform in Paralympics, because those are elite athletes, but at the same time, this is what your life could look like if you go, you know, through rehab and all that kind of stuff. But especially with the sprinters, I particularly love the track and field of Paralympics because it is amazing to see them with their adaptive prosthetics and how they're able to, you know, compete at such a high level. It's amazing. I love Paralympics as a PT. I love it.
That's in Paris too?
I don't know.
Is it all in Paris? Let's see.
I would think so, but Paris is not really allegedly a disability friendly place.
I would believe that it is in Paris.
It is. Wow. Because they don't have
August 28th to September 8th.
From when I went, they ain't have a lot of elevators because I had to climb up 273 stairs. And,
I didn't see a lot of ramps either.
No, baby.
But also everything in Europe is so
cobblestone,
old.
yes. Cobblestone, everything.
Even the elevators, how do you fit a wheelchair in there? They're so small.
Yeah, and listen. We had to go up to the one hotel we stayed at. Either you could get on or your luggage, but not both.
And you know what? The U.S. has a lot of issues. I'm not over here waving my U.S. flag.
No.
But what I will say is we be on some ADA shit.
Listen, we got elevators.
And ramps.
Okay?
And that's all I fucking need.
And the little buttons, the automatic buttons.
We got fucking handicap restrooms.
We sure do. Grab bars.
Love a grab bar.
Elevated toilet seats. Ha!
Lowered buttons.
America. That's right.
Amen, sister.
Speaking of America, what were you telling me about the So True podcast and Tyler Perry?
Okay. I don't know if anyone else listens to the So True podcast. I think it's hilarious. But and it's everywhere. Good for him. Love him. Caleb Huron. He was having an episode with the guy from SNL whose name is
that guy from SNL.
What is his name?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Devin Walker. He's on SNL.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about Tyler Perry. And Caleb, the host, is from Kansas City. And he was just saying, because we were talking about Tyler Perry and how popular he is, specifically in the black community. But what this guy was saying, he is white. And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, Sunday, you're turning on a TV in Kansas City. It's Tyler Perry. Those white people love Tyler Perry. Anything he's got. Medea specifically.
Yeah.
But they're watching. He was like, Sundays I'm coming home and we're watching some tape of an old Tyler Perry play. And I was like, this is who's keeping him in business. White, middle America.
But you know what it is? I think it's because I think the reason why white people love Tyler Perry so much is because that's their depth of view of the black community.
They're like voyeuristic look into a black household.
They get a chance to peek through the window without looking like a weirdo, and they're like, I feel like I'm invited to the cookout, and this is I'm able to join in on the fun and the laughter without being judged at laughing at some of this stuff.
Right. And I feel like there can be a lot of like what do they call it? Slave porn. It's not slave porn, but what do they call that?
I know what you're trying to say, because what you call it does that a lot. Allegedly, what's her name? Lena Waithe.
Yes.
It's like slave porn, but it's
and
like.
I'm not saying that I
can't remember the word.
White people are off the hook for slavery. Yeah. Never. But I can understand that if everything you're seeing is like this very heavy look how horrible life was for black people forever, all these horrible things they had to endure, and it will at the hands of white people. It can be, I know how exhausting it is for black people, but as a white person sitting, you're like, God damn, okay,
are we really that bad?
Yeah, like shit. All right, we get. So I'm sure it's nice to just have something very like lighthearted, and they make fun of, like, they make playful jokes towards white people, and it's just like a fun
banter back and
forth, and not like 12 Years a Slave or fucking
Color Purple,
Queen and Slim, Color Purple, Precious. Like,
Well, I mean, I get it too, but at the same time, it's like, I think just having that Southern black woman, that experience, I think that's a universal thing. Right. Like, we all have the experience of having a Medea in our family, whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, doesn't matter. We all have that one matriarch that's in the family that is not afraid to speak her mind. I actually was watching this one clip of this video where Wanda Sykes was asking.
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Wanda Sykes? Oh, and I don't know if it was a part of a TV show or something. I just saw like a random clip on Instagram, and she was talking to this white woman, and it seemed like they were at a job, and so she was like, I just don't understand why white women voted for Trump and whatnot, and he was talking about grabbing by the pussy and all this other kind of stuff. And so the white lady said, well, that's because she was like, where is the white sisterhood? And so this white lady was like, there is no such thing as white sisterhood. Like, we don't like each other. Like, we would, if there's something in your teeth, something in your nose, we're not going to tell each other, hey, there's something in your nose or there's something in your teeth. And so I think for white people, as not a white person, I would assume that maybe, again, their comfortability with the black culture is looking at it through the eyes of black people and being able to, again, kind of join in on the fun without being labeled a racist or discriminatory, because we're all laughing at the same thing.
Or having to feel out of your element, or like other than... Because you're just a part of it. You're watching it.
Exactly. With everybody else. So it's like everybody.
Else.
So if you're not laughing, you would look like the oddball versus I get a chance to actually laugh. And because even I remember Miss Pat was talking about that. Like, I've seen her stand up a few times, and she talks about how when she first started out her comedy career, when she moved to Indianapolis, how her audience was mainly white. And so she was saying that, a lot of times when she would tell the white people, we're going to go on a Negro field trip. So I think, again, white people having a glimpse and being able to safely laugh at some of the stuff, the trauma that black people have gone through, they feel a little bit more comfortable. So I think that is the centerpiece of the icebreaker. Like, hey, I'm not racist because I love Medea. Right. And it's like, is that your temperature gauge? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
But I mean, if that's what I'll take what we can get.
Listen, the different. Well, you're saying it like you're not black.
That's true.
I'll take what we can get.
Take what we can get.
I need you to remember you're black too.
That's right. I forget.
You get 15 days.
That's so right.
Yeah. You get 15 days because you're phenotypically.
Phenotypically.
Yeah, you get 15 days.
I'll get arrested February. Just like everybody else.
Yeah. But you'll get out of it.
Hopefully.
Officer, I'm just a girl.
Officer, talk to my white mom.
Exactly. Just real quick, I wanted to bring up, there's this young man that I need y'all to keep in prayer because the government gonna try to kill him. I already know. God
Lord.
forbid. His name is Himan Bekele. He's a 15-year-old creator of a skin cancer treating soap. And he was named Times' Kid of the Year for 2024. He basically created this soap to, like, how regular soap is supposed to trap the bacteria and the odors and stuff like that, and as you rinse off, it's supposed to rinse off of your body, right?
That seems like how soap works, yeah.
Well, I guess the way he was able to isolate this cancer fighting kind of situation was he was able to encapsulate this particular molecule where even if the water runs off, like how regular soap is, that this particular particle or whatever, or this molecule stays on your skin at a molecular level to basically try to help fight skin cancer. And so he was saying that he noticed that, you know, in certain areas or certain, you know, continents, especially like Africa, how people are able to stay in the sun much longer. And when he came over to America, he was saying that, you know, he realized that there was a huge thing with skin cancer.
These
here.
white people are burning and dying of skin cancer.
Because, you know, black people, our body loves melanin and the sun. Anyway, and so it's kind of like a solar panel there. Anyway, but he was just saying that he wanted to focus on that. So I just pray that God's protection over this young man and that Big Pharma won't do anything to hurt, harm, or devour him at all.
1, he's 15 years old, which is insane.
A genius, an amazing genius.
2, this picture of him on the cover of Time, beautiful.
Yeah.
That is wow.
See, this is the stuff that we should be making think pieces on. This is the stuff that we should be celebrating.
This is insane. At 15, I was getting drunk.
Because you know what he's going to do on an interview? Wear a suit.
He sure does know to cover his legs. No thighs out.
Because somebody's going to tell him, you know. He was on Time Magazine.
He was on Time Magazine. I cannot. That is insane.
Yeah. I be trying to figure out, and maybe because my brain don't work like that, I just be like, how the hell do these scientists come up with inventions? You know what I mean? I just be like, I need to find something that I can come up with so I can make millions of dollars.
I stop halfway through an idea.
Listen, I'd be like, wow, a spork would be really nice. You know what we should find? Something. Somebody gonna make it.
Yeah.
And the
most inventive thing I do is when I fucking wrap that foam tape around handles when I can't find a foam grip for a patient. That's about as inventive as we get around these days.
When I size my patients up for walkers, I feel very inventive and creative.
It is very inventive.
You know?
Nothing.
Because I eyeball it.
Nothing. I'm looking straight into the camera.
Oh, this is serious.
As an OT, nothing pisses me off more than when the PT refuses to adjust a walker for a patient. It takes 5 seconds. It's your fucking job. And I see all these people walking around the hospital like this. And I'm like, I know PT was just in here. You told me that they told you to use the fucking walker, but you're going to leave it for a 6'4". This woman is 5'2".
Have you ever asked a PT why they keep it high or low? Because we could be doing it for a very valid
they're not.
reason.
They're lazy. I saw them.
As a PT, I take offense to that because sometimes I do make the walker a little higher, especially if a patient is a little bit more bent over, or I make it a little lower if they're an amputee because they need to be able to extend their arms.
Straight spine. I do understand where you're coming from. And I wouldn't be on this rant if I thought that there were legitimate reasons.
Well, you have the right to rant because I definitely ranted about you all at the edge of the bed.
But I don't know why that shit just like they'll grab the walker from the side of the room and just be like, oh, let's use the walker. And I'm like, just freaking adjust it. That's what it's there. There's buttons on it. Just adjust it. Nothing pisses me off more. And these people are like, I don't want to use the walker. I don't like it. I'm like, yeah, because it's down by your knees and you're hunched over. Anyway,
I'm not that kind of PT. I always adjust my walker.
You are a very good physical therapist.
Thank you.
There is just some out there who
are trash.
And it really, that is one thing that grinds my gears.
As an OT. I love that. Well, thank you for telling me that.
You're welcome.
Even though I'm never going to change it because I don't do that. But
yeah, no. For everybody else out there.
We'll never work together as PT and OT again. So, you know.
Wah, wah, wah.
Don't we have that? Nope.
Bruh.
That's all we got.
There you go.
Anyway. No, that's not the same. What is this? Nope.
No.
Okay, we don't have it. Anyway, it's probably on the next. Anywho, speaking of drama, right? What were you talking about, Blake Lively?
Okay, great. I'm so glad we can talk about this. I'm assuming you didn't read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover.
No.
Okay, I did.
Oh, is that what that movie's about?
Yes.
I only know Colleen Hoover because of Book Talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
she has some pretty book covers, though.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, listen, I'm sorry to all the Colleen Hoover lovers out there. The books aren't great. Like, they're not.
Her books aren't good?
They're
allegedly?
Not, I mean, it's not like earth-shattering information.
Yo, she be going viral. People are like, oh my God, you got to read Colleen Hoover's books.
But it's like books for like.
It's like Danielle Steele.
I'm trying to like, okay, Stanley Cup girls, not like now Stanley Cup, but like height of Stanley Cup, that is Colleen Hoover core. Like, those are the women who read
So she's
Colleen
no
Hoover.
Babysitter's Club.
She's no Babysitter's Club.
Okay.
But she's like women who want to feel something, but I'm like, you know, the same thing that 40 million other women are also feeling at the exact same time because of TikTok.
Yeah.
That's Colleen Hoover.
Oh, that's what they were talking about. Ugly Love. That was the book that was going a little bit more viral.
Yes, and it was just like, I don't know. It's just like very bare bones. It's just like there's some spicy scenes in there. There's not really. It's not like this enriching story. Oh. It's not like hard smut, but it's like got enough spice and like you can kind of follow the story. It's an airport book, like, you know.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean?
Colleen Hoover don't see this. That's only the opinion of Fowler. I've never read your book. That is only the
opinion of me, and I think she's very good at what she does. And I'm not saying nothing's better than something else. Like this it's a very specific kind of book for a very specific situation.
And you're a book connoisseur, so you have the better opinion about that.
Correct. So and I have always known It Ends With Us to be a book about domestic violence. When I read it, I was like, this is just fucking crazy. Yeah. This girl's getting her fucking ass beat. The whole book, the spoiler, It Ends With Us is her ending the cycle of abuse because her mother was abused. She gets into a relationship, she's abused, and she has a daughter and is like, I should probably stop this shit. Yeah. Right? Not
breaking generational curses.
Correct. So all the drama has been that the movie This Is Us is coming out, and Blake Lively has been doing the promo for it, and if you didn't know anything about this book, you would have thought this shit was the fucking rom-com of the summer. Like,
yeah, like it's a what do they call it? Like a chick flick or something like that.
Bitch, and the promo is it's so strange. Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, did I remember the book wrong? Which I didn't. So she's like, you know, it's giving Margot Robbie and Barbie. She's like, you know, wear florals and go see it with your girlfriends and da-da-da-da-da-da. And she's out here doing all this promo. And also her husband, Ryan Reynolds, has Deadpool coming out right now, his movie. So they're doing a bunch of promo together because God forbid they're not fucking attached to the hip. But also...
They're a really beautiful couple, though.
I don't think he lets her leave the house. It's weird.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. So I have issues with that already, but now there's all this drama because supposedly, the director of the movie, Justin Baldoni, is doing his own press, and he's very big right now on the domestic violence aspect of the film. He's wearing the domestic violence pen. He is in the movie and is the domestic violencer. So he's talking about how hard that was for him to play and how important this movie was to him and all of this shit. And on the other end of that, you have Blake Lively, who's just like, movie of the summer, da 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 da. So a lot of people, myself included, are like, "Hey, girly, it feels real tone deaf. What you're, It's like saying Schindler's List is a cool play on Europe and during the war. Like we're missing some big things, like you know. And so, Blake Lively, I feel, is getting the J-Lo treatment right now. And that's what people on the internet are saying. Because people are just like, yeah, no, we're over it. And now these old interviews of her are coming up where she's kind of like snippy to the interviewer and all of these things. And people are not liking Ryan Reynolds as much. So this has just been a very interesting press junket to see.
Well, I think too, and this is just me playing devil's advocate, right? I think maybe she is trying to bring somewhat of positivity, so to speak, to the movie, because levity. I feel like if you just come out and do interviews about someone getting their ass beat in domestic violence, that is very depressing. And honestly, I don't want to go see that.
But that's the book.
But and I get it, but a lot of people haven't read the book probably. So it's like, remember when Precious first came out, the movie Precious with Gabourey Sidibe and Monique, comedian Monique. When that movie first came out, or when they did the preview, you was like, oh my God, I gotta go see this movie. This movie looks amazing. Oprah's invested in it. Tyler Perry, it's Lee Daniels, it got Monique, it has Mariah Carey, it has Paula Patton, it has Sherry Shepherd, oh my God, Lenny Kravitz. You were like, yes, we gotta go see this movie. And then when you get in the theater and then you see the dad with the Vaseline, you're like, what the fuck is this? So you're like, if I saw all these pieces of the movie or in the preview, I would have never gone to see that fucking movie. So maybe she's trying to bring somewhat of lightheartedness, because domestic violence is a very heavy topic.
But I'm like, and this is the wrong movie to do that with.
True. And I think the importance of it is obviously there. But if you come at it from the angle of, well, yeah, you know, domestic violence and women are beat every 1 second, and you're like, baby, that's too heavy. I don't want to go to a movie and watch that shit.
I don't think you're wrong. I just.
So maybe she's coming from a different angle. I'm not saying she is. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I think she's just so fucking excited to be in a movie again. She's like, I could give a fuck. And I think what's going to get people here is if we make it like Barbie and everyone wanted to dress up for Barbie and go see their friends.
Wear your flower dresses.
And that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're interested in it at all, go see it. I think everyone can wait till it streams.
That's amazing though that Colleen Hoover got made into a movie.
Hey,
though.
listen, go Colleen Hoover. Hey, listen, bitch, I read the books. I bought the books. I'm not saying I fucking hate Colleen Hoover. I'm just saying.
You're a hater.
I just know that there's a just very specific group of women who are like Colleen Hoover stans.
Yes.
This is what it is. Okay, I'm going to paint a picture for everyone if you haven't seen this movie or know nothing about the book. This movie is about this.
Don't spoil it now.
It's not a spoiler. This movie is just about this woman who falls in love with this man. They have a difficult relationship, and that is the core of the movie. Her experiencing this traumatic relationship after her living through her parents' traumatic relationship. That is the entire movie.
That's depressing.
Okay, that's the entire movie. There's no like that's it. Okay?
With a couple love scenes in there probably or something.
Yeah, and it's cute. And I mean, she falls like the guy is he's handsome and he's a surgeon and he makes a lot of money and they have good chemistry, all of these things, right? But he's got some shit and she's got some shit, and then there's like an old guy from her past. So it's like, oh, this whatever, love triangle.
Yeah.
And that's, the book obviously went into more detail, but that's the basis of the movie and her trying to like stand on her own.
That sounds like Divorce in Black from Tyler Perry.
You know what? And it's all comes back to Tyler Perry. But I'm walking out of this movie and these women are all like giggling and laughing and how great that movie and how cute he was and da 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 da. And I literally looked around and I was like, first of all, these women are like 40 something years old. So like grown women. And I'm like, did we watch the same fucking movie?
Yeah.
And that's my issue. Like,
well, some people are choosing to see
the
ending as like, if triumphant, she broke a generational curse.
But I'm just like,
they're wearing flower dresses because of Tyler Perry. I don't know.
I think that's what it is for me. Because I'm just like, this is not, I don't know. Also, it just annoys me because it's this thing in the movie, like she gets pregnant, has a baby, it's a daughter, so the man's like the husband that was beating her is like because she tells him, like, what would you do if your daughter came to you and was like, my husband's whatever abusing me, and he's like, I tell her. And I'm like, this plot point of men not knowing how to respect women until they have daughters just like grinds me.
Yeah, I agree.
And
because you know how to protect your mom or you know how to protect your sister, but you don't know how to protect the woman that you supposedly love.
Correct. And I can understand where it's coming from. I don't agree with it, but I think we propagate it, especially in media, and that shit annoys me too. So I'm sitting in this movie with my fucking arms crossed. I'm like,
because you already hate me anyway.
I'm already annoyed at men, and then you make this whole fucking movie, and this guy's a piece of shit until he looks at his daughter, and he's like, oh, this
weaponizing confidence.
This woman that directly came from me that I can want. Yeah. I want other men to respect and appreciate, so now I have to learn how, like, oh my fucking god.
You're very upset about
anyway, that's what's going on, and
which is why if you put it in the preview, nobody's gonna go and see it, so you have to make light of it, And
I mean, well, shit, Precious got a lot of fucking
people flooded the movie from the movies,
and people are flooding the fucking theaters for this, and so I guess it works.
And what was funny too? People flooded the movies for 12 Years a Slave, and when I went to go see that. Let me tell you something. When I went to go see that, there were more white people in that movie theater than black people.
That's a guilt watch.
Hey, listen, and when they watched it, there were quite a few that got the fuck up and left because they didn't realize what the hell it was going to be, because the previews was just like, I don't know how, the name tells you he was only a slave for 12 years. I don't know how you were confused, but okay. I'm just saying.
Oh,
it's the same thing with The Color Purple. People, The Color Purple, that's so nice.
Movie's fucking dude. I
mean, when I was a kid, I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it at, at home on a VHS tape. But
when did that come out? The movie
1989. I don't know. Look it up real quick.
You want me to fact check you?
I want to say it was 1989. No, Oprah was famous then. 1992.
82.
82.
Oh, that was the novel. That was the novel.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
2023. 1985.
Okay, 1985. I was gonna say I know I was alive when it came out.
Yeah.
Well, no, not 1982. I wasn't born in 1982.
When were you born?
84.
84. Good year. But yeah, that's what's going on. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think for movies nowadays too. Also, I will say this. I believe for movies nowadays, since COVID happened and we were allowed to and had the option to be in our homes, in our home theaters to be able to watch these movies, I think attendance to a lot of movies has been
has been decreased over time, right? Because people want to be able to watch movies in the comfort of their own home. But I feel like too, you have to be able to, in the media, draw a crowd in to go and see these movies. Like I think Colleen Hoover's name alone, people who know her and love her work
people
are gonna go flock
see
to it. But I think also too, Blake Lively being Blake Lively and this lively person, and come watch the movie and whatever. You gonna get there and it's gonna be like Precious. You like, goddamn. But to get you into the seats to buy the ticket, she has to sell you something more than what potentially the movie is. Like, yes, it's about domestic violence, but it's also about this woman gaining her independence or gaining herself and breaking generational curses and stuff. Like, if it was, I feel like, a black movie, right, with domestic violence, we would be like, we don't want to see that shit.
Oh, if it was fucking Tyler Perry, people would be like,
oh, Tyler Perry.
Well, if it was Tyler Perry-esque, not Tyler Perry in name, people would be like, we're good.
If it was anything Lena Waithe, I would not go.
Oh, no. I'd be like, I'm already sad enough.
Yeah, she does slave porn. I can't, allegedly. She does slave porn. I can't do it. And I used to
Haven't
love
we
Lena
suffered
Waithe.
enough?
Yo, that...
Well, like Queen and Slim I liked.
Yeah, but Queen
or was that Melina or her?
I don't know if that was Lena Waithe or not.
Maybe it wasn't Lena
She just...
Waithe.
What was the movie... The show that she had on... was it on Amazon Prime? Called Us.
Oh, Us.
That was just that was slave. I hated it. God damn. And she goes so dark with some of this stuff. I'm like,
Lena Matsukas. It wasn't. Oh, screenplay. Lena Waithe did the screenplay.
Yeah, she just. Oh Jesus. That slave porn that she does. I can't take Lena Waithe sometimes. I really can't. I think she's great at what she does, but the way that she tells films sometimes is so dark, and I'm just like, dude, you need therapy. What is wrong?
Backstory for sure.
Yes, it's just, to me, it's I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's just it's traumatic. It's very traumatic.
Yeah.
Versus Misha Green, who we all know and love from Lovecraft Country, right?
As we know,
director and amazing.
Big Misha Green fans.
I just love the way she categorizes things and the way she puts things together that has a triumphant has black people as the overcomers and the conquerors. Same thing with Ava DuVernay. I love the way she directs because people are the conquerors in it. Gina Prince Bythewood, I love the way she directs because again, black people are the conquerors, even in a story of adversity. So Lena Waithe is just, oh Jesus. She draw it out. Good God. We don't need to see the bodies hanging. God damn.
She's really like, ooh, I'm not gonna she's
dark.
It feels like the way that I just get on these rants about how these movies piss me off, it sounds like she watched all these movies and she was like, they just never show the real shit.
Yes.
I just can't believe they never show the real shit. When I make movies, I'm gonna show the real shit.
She
and I'm
goes
like, we don't need to see that.
Not in 2024.
Not for an hour and a half.
No. And you're like, black people don't support black shit. You're right, bitch, because you are traumatizing your community. Now, The Chi is good, but you're traumatizing your community with some of the other stuff, Lena. I need you to be a little bit more brighter. A little bit more brighter, my dear.
Get some Blake Lively in you.
Something, because, she'll have a good 5-minute segment of just white people wearing black people the fuck out. And I'll be like,
I'm just like,
enough.
This abuse scene, we needed not this.
All you needed was 2 seconds. Give it innuendo, baby. Just give it innuendo. We can figure it out.
To the imagination.
Have you ever heard of innuendo? we can see into the future. We get it. We get it, the nuance, right? You don't have to just take it there and just, God, dog. Woo.
But anyway, that's what's playing at the movies right now.
We love you, Lena Waithe. We want better for you, okay? Yeah, but you got to give us better, okay? They talking about Tyler Perry wigs.
Please
tell Lena Waithe to stop with the slavery porn. I can't do it. Anywho, anything else we can talk about before we get out of here? What are you watching?
Nothing. I saw that in the movies. That's it. The last thing I would like to say is I need everyone to stop with the Demure, stop with the Cutesy.
Yo.
I can't. Maybe I'm just annoyed. I might be about to start my period. I don't know. Everything's pissed me off. The way that TikTok came out and it was like very Demure, very cutesy. Props to that creator. I think that's a very niche, cute thing. Obviously, it's like taking off like wildfire. Not everyone needs to make their fucking Instagram caption Demure cutesy. Shut up. I saw it 75 times.
Yeah, I'm having a very visceral response to that.
Why is that?
Because it's okay. So the person came out with it, right? I'm quite sure. First of all, the word demure has been out for forever.
We have
right?
like they didn't create the word. 72-hour turnover, even shorter than that, maybe.
But you know what it is? The reason why it's so annoying is because they haven't allowed the actual creator to then make more Demure content, and everybody has taken over it. And I'm like, okay, this person came out with a trend. Enjoy the trend. It's just like the girl with, it's a chicken salad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, allow the chicken salad girl to do
one.
the chicken salad stuff. You don't have to take it over and run with it. And so you got a million people that's calling, oh, look at my handle on my door. Very demure, very classy. Oh, my hair, very demure. And it's like, let the demure person do the trend. Just let them have it.
None of this is demure nor classy.
No,
and I'm not liking it. And I just feel bombarded. It's like every other thing I see.
Yeah.
And
I just hate it.
For some reason, it's just really.
But you know what it is too? Social media, again, there's a lot of people that Bush should have left behind, right? Mm-hmm. And so I feel like,
you have said that.
Yeah, with social media too, things go too fast. Nobody marinates on anything anymore. Every time something comes out, it's like when your favorite artist comes out with a song, right, or with an album. Mm-hmm. And you play it nonstop for like a week or two, and you learn all the words, all the ad libs, everything, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah.
Social media is just going to, nothing marinates, which is why
like you got to get on the trend now because you got to be the first one, and you want to get all the views and da 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 da.
Exactly, and then you have nothing else to come back with it, which is why I will always go back to Beyonce when I say this. This is why I love Beyonce, because she will make an album and she will make y'all ass sit on that shit for 2, 3, 10 years until she comes out with another one.
I'm waiting on Rihanna for fucking.
And Rihanna, I'm telling y'all right now, look at. I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this. Rihanna is not coming out with another album. Leave that girl alone. Let her enjoy her kids. You better go buy all the makeup you want to. She's not coming out with another album. You understand? Stop asking her about it. Because every time, I'm telling you, every time you ask her, she's literally tagging on another year that she's not gonna do it just because you asked her. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame her. Let the people sit with the projects you already got. Let those go double platinum and gold and whatnot again. That's all I'm saying. But stop that Demure shit. I'm sick of it.
You got
except for the original Demure person.
Yes, move on. We got to do something else. Like,
was it Jewel? Is that who did it? Jewel was the original? I don't know.
It's that.
I'm trying to act like I really be above trends. I don't. I just keep hearing the Demure word, and I'm like, please, y'all, give it a rest.
It's just because it came and it's just swelled, and it's not even like, I don't know. For some reason, it's really pissed me off.
It's like, just follow the niche that the originator did with it. Like,
and it's not, I think it doesn't annoy me when people just like offhandedly, like if I hear people using it, but it's like the constant everything now. That's our blanket caption right now, because that's the little phrase of the day. And I'm like, can y'all just fucking come up with something else? Or
in a week, they're going to say something different.
Pissed me off this week.
Yeah, it's gonna come up with something different in a week.
Read a book. Go read It Ends With Us. Tell me how you like it.
Also, shouts out to Wally Amos from Famous Amos.
Famous Amos died.
He passed away.
I've never been so sad.
The tender age of like 94. Wasn't he 94?
I think it was 88.
88.
94 sounds much better.
Same thing. So yeah, but them cookies are the bomb. Anyway, but
God, those are so good.
Really
how long have those been operating for?
Probably since like the 1950s.
How do those chocolate chip cookies?
They're just so good. Oh yeah, he was 88. Mm-hmm.
It started in Los Angeles in 1975.
Okay, I was way off. Mm-hmm. By a few 20 years.
Famous Amos. Ooh, that little gold bag.
It's amazing.
That's some good shit.
And they sell the 32 pack at Costco.
Of course. Famous Amos.
And Sam's. They're amazing.
He was in his bag with that one.
He really was. And I pray his family is able to benefit from,
88 seems young. Is it?
It's not. It's because you're 30. It's not.
It seems young. I said it seemed young.
Yeah, but you know what? As we get older, especially in healthcare, when certain situations happen or you have certain diagnosis of your patients and they're just like, oh my God, all this happened to them. They fell off a ladder. They did this. Oh my God, how old are they? They're pretty young. They're like 75. You're like... 75. It is young, but it's not at the same time.
Asking his PT, we had a patient together, and I was asking him how he did. He's like, "Oh, good. He's a young guy. Da 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 da." The young guy, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Darby, I thought you said he was young." He is. I said he was born in 1963.
You gonna piss everybody off?
I know, but I was like, I thought he was like, when you say young in a hospital, I'm thinking 30 years old.
Exactly.
He was like, the young guy. I was like, my God, what?
Yeah, he's pretty young. He's 65.
It's like,
it's not young.
What?
You're definitely over the hill.
Yeah, I was like, I guess comparatively, he is young.
Exactly. But. I mean, we used to think at one point 30. Oh my God, you're old at 30. But yeah,
what feels old to you now, number wise? But there's okay. Just tell me what you think an old number is.
Old to me is 80.
80.
Yes.
Okay.
80 is old to me.
I think 80 is old.
Yeah.
But then when I said he is 88 and died, that seems like a young age. Do you see what I mean?
Gone too soon. No.
But like to me, 29 seems old, but 30 seems young. Do you know what I mean?
No, because 29 is young.
Like when you said, if I said like, oh, I'm 29, it feels like, ooh, okay, she's 29. That's kind of like older. But if I'm like, oh, she's 30, 30 seems younger to me than 29.
I don't know where your brain does that, but no. That's not.
Or like 37 seems older than 42. Like, oh, I'm just 42. But
No.
like, oh, 37.
Because when somebody says, yeah, because his old ass, he's 45. Ooh, that's 5 years older than me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tread lightly. Don't piss me off. Tread lightly. So the older you get, the older ages don't seem as old.
There's some numbers that just feel and sound older.
But people be like, oh my God, they were 98 and they died. They gone too soon. No. 98 years on this planet,
but
baby.
98 feels older than 101 to me.
I don't know why your brain's doing that.
I don't know.
It's got to be the Dimetap. I don't know.
It's just got to be.
Or the amphetamines. It's one of them.
Something ain't right up here.
Yeah, I don't know what you know. 80 seems old, but again, when you see, and I think old is relative to how well the 80-year-old is moving.
Right.
Because you'll get some of those patients who are 95, they're still driving, they look amazing. You're just like, but those
and
do
then
not come a dime a dozen.
60-year-olds, you're like, whoo, brother.
I see patients all the time who are much younger than my mother. My mother is 75. My mother still goes walking every day. She works out. She is independent, and I thank God for that every single day. She's in good health. But I see people who are 60 and like 70 and 65, and they look way older than my mother, and I'm like, Jesus, what happened to you in life?
Especially if you mix in some liver failure.
True.
That shit'll eat your ass
But it's
up.
always the diabetes.
The diabetes also makes you old shit.
Yeah, and the kidney failure as well too with the dialysis. And you age very fast, unfortunately. So anyway, we didn't mean to be depressing like that.
All that to say, go on walks, drink your water.
Absolutely, and eat some Famous Amos cookies. Anything else you need to talk about before we get out of here?
No.
All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us for another episode of the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Y'all have an amazing week on purpose, and y'all remember to spread love.
Spread light.
And don't forget to laugh your face off.
Wow, wow, wow. That was very Demure, very cutesy.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great week. I don't know what that noise was. What was that?
Oh my goodness. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.